everybody, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to my channel where I encourage everyone to get out and enjoy their life, even if that means doing it by yourself. Today, I actually spent the day in Columbus at GalaxyCon, which is a comic convention here in Ohio. I had never done anything like that before, and that's kind of why I'm doing the intro here after I've already been there, because sometimes when I do something by myself, even I get nervous and I'm not sure how it's going to go. And so I have to kind of go and just start recording and see what it's going to be like. And then later, after I've like gotten into it, then I can record an intro. But yeah, so GalaxyCon. To start with, the very first thing I did after I registered and got in and everything was there were two celebrities that I wanted to meet and get a picture taken with. And so I don't have any video from that, but I do have the photos that I'm going to post here. So the first one is Jodie Benson, who is the voice of Ariel from The Little Mermaid. And that, while it's not my favorite Disney movie, it is the one I have the strongest memories from as a kid, because I was born in the mid-'80s and that came out, you know, just a couple years later. And so that's the one that I remember just being like, it just permeated everything, you know, the culture. And so, and my dad would quote lines from it to make us laugh. And yeah, so when I heard she was going to be there, I knew I really wanted to meet her. The second celebrity that I wanted to meet was the man who voiced Prince Eric, Christopher Daniel Barnes. And so here's his picture. They were both super nice. I didn't get to, chat with them long. It was mostly like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. Take picture. Thank you so much. And, moved on. But it was really good that I did it at the beginning of the day, because when I went back later just to kind of, I went back to see if I could see any celebrities, just kind of looking around. Their lines were very long, whereas I went up at the beginning of the day, like first thing, and I had maybe one other person in front of me for both of them. So I did it the right way. Well, anyway, let me go ahead and show you the rest of the footage I took, and then I will kind of wrap up the experience at the end. So, one of the things that my coworker told me was to prepare to be overstimulated, and she wasn't kidding. Oh my gosh, look at these drawings over here. Let's go check that out. Okay, so I didn't film up close because I'm always nervous. I don't want them to think I'm trying to steal their artwork, and go print it on my own. So I didn't film when I went up close, but they're really cool. Like, I looked at a couple different booths. I had like hand-drawn things, like sketches, like pencil sketches. One guy did it all with a mechanical pencil. There was another that had like really pretty like paintings of different, like a lot of Disney and stuff like that, like famous Disney scenes and things like that. Really cool, really, really cool. But it's all a little overwhelming. Like, there's so much to see, so much to look at. They weren't kidding. And I probably only know what about 1% of the costumes I'm seeing are. Oh, there's another artist down there. Okay, I am sitting here ready for my first panel. And I'm very excited because this is a childhood love. Yep, I just got pictures with them, but now I'm gonna hear a Q&A.
Bring them out! Our first guest, he is an actor whose body of work includes the Brady Bunch movies, Starman, several animated versions of Spider-Man, and I am responsible for him becoming a Warhammer 40k aficionado. Today, he joins us to discuss the voice of Prince Eric and the original Little Mermaid. Please welcome everyone's friend, Christopher Daniel. He also has the historical rating champion of the coolest beard out of all talent in convention work at the time. And next, she's an actress and singer whose body of work includes The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Camp Laszlo, and the highly undervalued series The Pirates of Dark Water, if you remember that one. Today, she joins us to discuss the role of Princess Ariel. Please welcome Jodie Benson! Let's go to the old chestnut first. Okay, how did this begin for you guys? How did this blip on the radar, and where were you? And when like, hey, Disney's got something you might be interested in.
Well, I was 15. I was doing a television series called Day by Day, and that's right. And Laura Birch is here because I hadn't seen Laura in 40 years, 35 years. I went back to the green room. I said, Laura, I don't know if you remember me, but it was great. And then I just got the audition. I went in and auditioned, and we had no idea what it was going to be. And I had no idea. And I was playing a young, confident prince. I thought, well, I can do that. And so the rest is history.
And I was doing a Broadway musical called Smile with Howard Ashman and Marvin Hamlish. And when our show tragically closed after 6 weeks, and we were all sad and lost our jobs, Howard was kind to invite a handful of us girls to audition for Ariel, and as I say it, we gave you something to do on the way to the unemployment office. So it was a great day, knowing that I would never get it, because I'd never done animation, never done voiceover, never been behind a microphone before like that. And like a year later, get the page and get the call and put the quarter in the payphone and call the agent and get this incredible job that we never knew that we'd still be here, getting into our 39th year that we're sitting here chatting with you. So,
but you guys really precipitated. This was the new era at Disney, and no one knew it at the time.
Yeah, we had no idea. I mean, we had no idea. And again, we weren't going to be revealed as voices. We were going to remain anonymous, which is the way that Walt always designed it. And at the end of September, beginning of October, I got a call, we're going to send you on a press tour, 22 cities in 20 days. And I said, why? And they said, because we are going to reveal who the voices are. We're doing something different. And that's when life changed drastically, because I was going back and forth. We were all doing other projects. I was doing another Broadway musical, knowing that this was a one and done. And needless to say, it wasn't. Which is amazing, and we're so grateful. The whole thing was just such a huge surprise and such a huge delight that I think it just took us, we were all blown away. Because again, we were never going to be revealed. You would never know who we were. And we would just go back to our regular lives. And I think it was shortly after the movie, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that I realized something is really different about this. The Disney stores, Target, Walmart, everything was packed with our toys and our, ancillary products. And I think it was like that first week of January that I realized, wait a minute, this is something so far beyond what we ever imagined, which made it a wonderful gift, right? Because there were no expectations.
Yeah, I remember I was, only a kid, so I was not sort of into the business savvy aspect of the industry. But I remember sitting at the premiere, and I had been a Disney fan. I liked The Great Mouse Detective. That was like the previous film I had watched, right? So anyway, I was sitting there watching this movie, and I thought, this isn't like The Great Mouse Detective. This is amazing. This is like singing and colors, and I love The Great Mouse Detective. And I thought this is like on a whole other level. So I just kind of had this intuitive feeling, and as a kid, wow, this is like a new thing. This is different. Something really different.
I've never been to a movie before where people applauded after every musical number.
So like a Broadway show.
Yeah, I was sitting and I'm looking around at people and they're clapping. They're clapping and like, woo, and I'm like, I do feel like I'm in a Broadway musical theater.
My name is Logan. So which scene from The Little Mermaid took many attempts to voice?
The song, because I did the song for about 6 hours and then they said to me, there's a problem with the microphone, we have to start over. That was a pretty sad day.
I didn't have any problems. I didn't have to sing. Prince Eric doesn't sing.
From you sing in your heart.
That's right.
You sing in your heart.
Hi, what's your name?
Regina. So I'm a K-5 educator, so I know the kids say the darndest things, and I'm just wondering for both of you, any of your children, grandchildren, or other littles in your family throughout your career after the movie was released, what is like the top funniest thing said in reaction to realizing you were voicing the character they were watching?
When my niece was in the 3rd grade, she brought me in as her show and tell. And so I went up to the front of the room with a microphone. I introduced who I was. I spent 5 minutes explaining the process of voiceover animation, standing at a microphone and how they push the buttons for the engineer. I explained the whole thing. And then I say, does anybody have any questions? Little boy in the back row. I said, yes, sir. What is your question? How do you hold your breath underwater so long? No concept whatsoever of my explanation. Did not believe me. It was still to this day, I can see that little boy. It was so precious.
I had somebody ask me if they were on the phone, if I would speak to their daughter. I think the little girl was like 5 or something, and she wants to talk to Prince Eric. And I said, well, okay, sure. So on the phone, I go, hello. And she goes, where have you been? I just want to respond. I was like, what do you say? I was being reprimanded. Where have you been? Funniest thing.
Okay, so here is just a couple of minutes. I like to share my song with you, and I don't share my song with you because I need to sing my song again, because obviously I've been singing the song for 39 years. But I sing the song for you.
Okay, that was so much fun. Also, at the very end, Jodie Benson sang "Part of Your World," and I almost cried. I got the whole thing on video, but I cannot share it. She said we could take some recordings if we wanted, but she asked us not to post them, so I'm going to honor that. If you know me personally, I'm happy to show it to you, but I'm not going to post it. But anyway, I am sitting right here because William Shatner is next, and I feel like I can't miss that. So let's see what he has to say.
Musical artist and astronaut. Please welcome Mr. William Shatner.
I thought that would be funny. Hello, everybody. Please sit down. Yeah, it's embarrassing when you stand.
Own horses at your ranch and everything. My question was, the horse on set, was that one of your own horses?
Oh, that
Or
horse.
was it a horse that they had on set that
No.
they
That was my horse. That was a world champion Western pleasure horse.
Wow.
Yeah, I won that somewhere.
My name is Robert.
Hi, Robert.
I'm a composer and music teacher based in Michigan.
Oh, how wonderful. I love music, and I love the aspect that music is a part of everything, that the rhythm of our heart is the heartbeat of the world, and that from the tom-tom, which was man's first musical instrument, to something like a trombone.
We are not going to get through that
I've
line.
often wondered, maybe you have the answer to this. A trombone, swaying back and forth. Who the hell invented the trombone? I mean, who would think of... Okay, that's the music of a trumpet. Who thought of that, I don't know. But then who thought of as making music? Do you know the answer to that?
I do not know the exact inventor of the
Well,
trumpet.
what kind of a teacher music did you have?
The composition of music.
Composition.
So I write music.
So who invented the little dots on the lines of that is such genius, isn't it? Who invented the ability to write ba 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 bee ba 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 and know that you could do that again by reading? Solfeggio, isn't it? Reading music?
Well, it does have, the modern notation system does have its origins.
What is the origin of it? First of all, what's your name again?
Robert.
Robert, what's the origin of writing music, of the ability? Who invented the ability to write music so somebody else could read that music?
Well, there is a notation system that does date back to the ancient Greeks, in fact.
No kidding.
But it has very little to do
What
with
instruments did the ancient Greeks play?
They would have had the lyre, which is basically
right.
like a harp or almost like a Vulcan lyre.
Yeah, a lyre which became the harp, which became the guitar. Plucked instruments.
Yeah.
So, explain to us what the Greeks would have done.
Well,
See, my philosophy in life is that nobody knows anything.
Okay, that was kind of fun and funny, but he also like rambled. He only got through kind of like 3 or 4 people, but not even really, because a couple of them I don't even think asked their questions. He just like asked them a question and then went off on a tangent. And so, I mean, it was kind of fun and funny, like parts of it, but like I had no idea what he was talking about for a large part of it. But it was still kind of cool to, see him and just be able to see it, say that I've seen William Shatner. So I am going to stay in here for the next one too. Ben Schwartz, who is probably, well, as I know him from Parks and Recreation, he played John Ralphio, which is a character I actually strongly dislike. But I have seen him a little more since then, and he's a pretty funny guy. And actually, my best friend who was supposed to come with me, this is one of the people that she was really excited about, and so I want to stay and see what he has to say, because this is probably gonna be a pretty funny one. So, yeah, let's see what he's like.
GalaxyCon Columbus, please help me welcome to the stage, Ben Schwartz! Hi everybody, how is everybody? Oh my god, are those glasses that record? Are they recording me right now? No, not right now. Wait, what do you do with them? So like all day do you wear these? I do, but I don't always record. So when you go to the bathroom, do you wear these? That's when I do record. Oh, wait, for real? It just always records you? No, you have to hit a button like this, so like this. That's a picture. Oh, okay. So you see the and then if you were recording. This is all a commercial for Google Glasses or whatever goes on. Yeah. Ray-Ban. Yeah. So then it lights up when you're recording. Oh, so I know that I'm being recorded. So you know that there's not like somebody being creepy. Okay, right. Got it, right. So Anyway, you were saying? Say welcome back to Columbus. Thank you. I'm very excited to be here, guys. Thank you very much for having me. That's it. I love meeting the fans. I love signing stuff. This is my favorite part. We get to talk. We get to hear questions, and I get to talk. I get to have real conversation. I really love this part. So thank you for showing up. I love this stuff. The last time we talked, you mentioned your Disneyland fandom. Yes. I was just there recently. I just went 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Yeah. I was not there 2 days ago. Okay. But so I want to ask you, what's your favorite Disneyland ride attraction? Right? Yes. Are we doing this here? Yes. Doing it right here. I gotta know what your favorite Disneyland. I'll give you top 5. Okay, top 5. I really love Disneyland. Yes. I really love Disneyland. Yes. Haunted Mansion. Yes. Yeah. But during Haunted Mansion Holiday, right? No, I'd rather normal. Oh. Yeah. Breaking Me? You're talking about the Jack Skellington version? Love it, but I love Jack Skellington, but I love the old school Haunted Mansion. Right. Pirates. Yeah. Indiana Jones. 100%. Rise of the Resistance, I think, is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. Rise of the Resistance, I think, is one of the best rides I've ever been on in my life. And what would I put for 5? Do you know what I really love to start it off is Soarin'. I love going on Soarin' to start. But yeah, those are probably top 5.
I want to talk about your experience with Star Wars.
Sure.
So you actually got to do the thing and be a stormtrooper.
I was a stormtrooper in episode 7, guys.
I mean,
and there was a very funny beat where it was, I just done a movie called This Is Where I Leave You, and Adam Driver was in that movie, and it was before he was cast as Kylo Ren. I've also punched up 7 and 9. I can't believe I just called him Rilo. I haven't slept in a very long time. Kylo Ren.
Yes.
And they were doing reshoots at Bad Robot, and it was with Adam being Kylo Ren. But I was in a stormtrooper thing, so I was basically an extra, and I was a little embarrassed to say hello to him because he didn't know it was me. So I was just behind him, and then I took off my thing. I was like, "Hi, man." It was a very fun one. But he was walking like this, and my job was you can't see anything in the stormtrooper thing. You can't see anything. You're a little thin there. And he's walking, and he says a sentence, and he leaves, and I'm just supposed to leave with him. And literally 3 times in a row, I hit the back of his foot, like 3 times in a row. Because you can't see, so I'm just like trying to really commit. And I'm like, I hit Kylo Ren. I flat tired him at least 2 times. That part didn't make the movie.
That could have been the lore, like, you know, the stormtrooper that hits his head.
Yeah, I'm the one that flat tires all the villains in the Star Wars universe. Yeah, watch out, Palpatine. I'm gonna step on that rope in a second.
I mean, you know, Leonardo, Chewie, Sonic, all have to pale in comparison to being the unannounced stormtrooper.
Yes, the untitled stormtrooper who flat tires Kylo Ren. Yeah, I think so.
And then you also got to work with, of course, BB-8.
Yes, I got to help out with the voice of BB-8, who is the ball droid in episode 7 and 9. Great character. BB-8 fans, anybody? Originally, we had lines of dialogue for him, and then JJ, I would do them, JJ would write them, then we'd improvise them, and we'd give them to ILM. And then on the way back, it didn't quite sound right, so we tried synthesizers and tried all these other things. And then I had to go off to do a movie, then he hired Bill Hader to come help out. And then in the end, I literally think JJ found an app on his phone, and that's what BB-8 is. And JJ found an app, and I think it was a combination of something and him doing that, yeah, in the end.
Ready to take some audience
I
questions
cannot
here?
wait for audience questions. I'm going to try my best to get through everybody and connect with everybody in their eyes.
My question is about your experience and or preference in short form versus long form improv.
Sure. So I started my career doing short form in college. So my introduction to improv was short form at college. We had a group called Idle Minds, and it was very fun. But then I saw Amy Poehler on SNL, and I heard that she was doing improv at a place called Upright Citizens Brigade, and Ian Roberts, Matt Besser, Matt Walsh, like the 4 UCB guys. And I'm a New Yorker. I grew up in the North Bronx, and then moved to Westchester. Great. And then, so I was like, well, I really want to learn how to do what they do. So when I started doing long form, I fell in love with it. It's all I wanted to do. I got addicted to it. I was performing. I was an intern there because I didn't have enough money for classes, so I did intern to get free classes. I was a bartender there. I was cold calling colleges to try to book their touring company. Anything I could do to stay in that thing, watch all those people be really funny. And so long form to me is my heart. Short form is very fun, but oftentimes you can play certain gags over and over again. Long form, everything is totally different every single time. Short form is fantastic, you know. But for me, when I saw long form and the acting and the creating of scenes and the storytelling, that you could call back things over the course of 2 hours, like our show last night, it made me fall in love with that art form. So I still love every now and then to dabble in short form, but long form is definitely where my heart is. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you for that niche question.
What was processing through your mind when you got that call, when you got the role for Sonic? And how did you prepare? I'm sorry, I know it's 2 parts.
No, that's a great question. So at the very beginning, I'll tell the story really quick. At the very beginning, this is actually an interesting thing about a different studio owned Sonic, and they never made a movie. So then it got up in the air again. And then to prove that people would watch a Sonic movie, which is crazy to think about now because of all the fun that we've had since, but we did a short film of like a 3-minute short film that Jeff Fowler directed, and they're looking for somebody to play Sonic in it. And I had a meeting with Tim Miller, who did the original Deadpool, about being in something else. But I saw like a little Sonic on Jeff's thing. I was like, oh man, I love Sonic. And he goes, oh, we're doing this little thing, and he knew I do the voice of Dewey and DuckTales and Leo and Turtles rides. And so they knew I did some voiceover work. And I was like, if you ever need any help, man, I'm in. And so They said, we love, and they said at the beginning, they said, you can do this. This also shows you that if you love something and you like really just want to do it, you should do it. You go, we're not going to pay any money, you're probably not going to be the role, but if you want to help us out and just do the voice for this little thing. So I did it. They sold it to Paramount, they showed it, Paramount bought it. They did a search to see who they wanted for Sonic, but they kept going to that short and they loved it so much that in the end they're like, Ben's got to be the guy. And so then I got to be Sonic because So I was waiting for 8 months to a year for them to call me to tell me if I got it or if someone far famous than me got it. And I got the call. I just got out of doing a podcast. I was in Burbank. I know exactly where I was. And Jeff Fowler called me and he says, "You're going to get the plane. You're going to be Sonic." He was so excited to tell me. And I was so excited, and I started like fist pumping the air. I was so excited because if you love video games like I do, you know what Sonic means to all video games. You know what I mean? It is a seminal character. When you talk about video games, you have to talk about that. And then when I found out Jim Carrey's gonna be, it was just, for me, it was a dream. It's a dream come true and a dream job that I hope we make 1,000 of. I hope. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Nice to meet you, man. Hey, what's going on?
Hi, what's your name? Hi, my name's Brayden.
Hi, Brayden.
I have a question. Do you have like any updates on like Sonic 4? I expected someone to do this, so I thought I'd do it myself.
Wait, you suspect what?
I expected someone would ask you about if you have any updates on the
Okay, so Sonic 4, I have seen, the last time we were here, I think I hadn't seen, or last time we did a con, I had a meeting with Jeff Fowler and got to see the storyboards. If you guys know what that is, it shows like the story, what's going to be told throughout the whole movie, and it's very good. It's very, very exciting, and obviously Amy Rose is going to be in this one. If you haven't seen 3, and the 3 introduces Amy Rose and that Pika Pika hammer. So it's very, very exciting. I can't tell you what happens. Although, do you want to come over and I'll whisper you the whole movie? Okay. But you can't tell anybody. No, I get fired. You told a random kid the whole storyline of what? But it's really exciting, and shooting's going to start next year, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited because 3 to me, when we finished 3, I was like, how are we ever going to beat this? Because 3 was such a big, beautiful movie, and Keanu Reeves was there. So it's like, but this one somehow we're getting bigger and it's more exciting. And if you love Amy Rose, she'll be there too. It'll be really cool. Cool, man.
So is Amy gonna kiss you when you die?
When I die? Did Brayden tell you? Hold on. How did you hear me whisper to the kid before you? Your question. How old are you?
I'm in 12.
My man who's 11 and a half. The first question you have is, in Sonic 4, will Amy kiss me when I die? First of all, I hope I don't die in this one. I think we just announced a different event movie, so I'm really hoping I don't die in this one. I haven't read the full script though, but if you know something that I don't, do you want to whisper to me what happens in Sonic 4? I do know Amy's in it. I haven't seen the storyboards. And I don't remember a storyboard where I perished, but I didn't finish the movie. All right, cool. I like that. I like your energy, dude. I like this.
When she saved you.
Oh, at the end of 3? Oh yeah. I mean, she saved my life. You gotta stop trying to kill people in my movies. I'm trying to be around for a while. Nice to meet you.
No, I'm saying the one of Shadow kills Amy.
Why? He's starting to shed a little bit of the dark. No, Shadow is the goat. Hey, we're on the same page. Don't have him kill me, please.
Punches you in the face, I'll stop him.
If you punch him in the face, he'll be a what? Thank you for having my back, my man. Thank you for having my back. Hi, what's your name? How funny would it be if you had the same... You're like, sorry, he already asked my question.
There's this other room here that's not exhibitors, but it's like gaming. And so you can sit and play video games. I don't know if it costs extra, probably, but I don't know that for sure. But I had an epiphany while I was or when I was watching all those panels. And I was like, oh, I should try to find some like stocking stuffers for my family here. So I'm gonna go and walk around because I've got about an hour before the next scheduled thing. So I'm going to go back and take a closer look at some of those booths and see what I can find and what am I looking at. It's crazy. Oh, I don't know what that is. If someone knows, please tell me in the comments. Okay, so I was going to do that Back to the Future panel, but it became pretty clear, like nobody was talking to their microphones, so you couldn't really hear, and they had nothing to do with the movie. Like I went hoping that it would be like the writer or an editor or the grip or something, someone that was associated with the movie, even though it wouldn't be the stars. And it wasn't. It was just like someone who ran a website, and it was all stuff that I had heard before, like on podcasts and stuff. So I slipped out. I may have recorded like a minute of it, but I was gonna have to leave that earlier anyway because there is like an improv thing that I want to go to, and that starts like in 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go to that instead.
Interview works. I'm going to be interviewing these three lovely people, except they're actually only going to be one person saying one word at a time in sequence. But to interview them, I need them to be somebody. So does anyone have like a name that sticks in your memory?
Chuck Norris.
Laura. Full name if you can.
Chuck Norris. Mark Ruffalo.
Yes. Jim Carrey? Oh, someone you don't, who's
Benjamin
not famous.
DeMarcus.
We all know Jim Carrey. Sorry. Someone you know.
Benjamin DeMarcus.
Benjamin DeMarcus? Okay, yeah, Benjamin DeMarcus.
Hell yeah, Benjamin DeMarcus, let's go.
Welcome back to Late Night at CSNBC. We're talking here to Benjamin Marcus. Benjamin, you've been just making the rounds in the trading card community. What has brought you to such fame in this space?
Howdy, I
am
Benjamin
DeMarcus.
Now I traded cards
My
whole life.
is
I love
trading
cards my life.
Now, I really want to talk on that because you started out in the baseball space, but you've moved recently further into Pokemon and other cards. What prompted that?
Shohei loves
cards.
and I
Love
Shohei, so
it.
made sense.
So to be clear, you're friends with the famous baseball player Shohei Ohtani, and you stopped trading baseball cards?
It's weird.
A question that my daughter had that I wanted to ask you. What is your prized card? Your most prized card?
2,000 Charizards.
A stack of 2,000 Charizards, or one card that is 2,000?
And
Pikachu.
Wow, that's
shiny.
I've heard that's good. Wonderful. Okay, so how do you feel? You've recently started a family. How do you feel that your trading card experience has played into your role as a parent?
Children love
Cards.
Now I
Don't.
love children.
Bears.
Stinky and
Smelly.
gross.
So, I mean, just to, not to ask the obvious question, but why did you have kids?
My wife,
Bags.
kids.
All right. I got some questions here from our viewers at home. Camden, who's 7, says, "Hey, I have this card I want to sell. Can I sell you it?"
How much
Is.
it?
It says 2,000 Pokemon and 2 Charizards.
Camden, I
Can't.
believe you
Would.
disgrace my
Legacy.
with
2,000.
Charizards when
I.
possess 2,000 Charizards.
So sorry, Camden. All right. Sarah, 27, calls in saying, how could I get into the trading card space if I've never traded cards?
Reddit.
Oh, well, that was fun. It was a group from Ohio State University that do improv, and so they weren't professionals, but it was still fun and funny. So I'm heading to another panel that's going to talk about storytelling, and I might be late. So I better run.
Any question?
What kind of advice would you give for a young person that wants to go into your line?
Run. Fast. Yeah, animation is I wouldn't call it booming right now. Comics, the advice to get into comics, which is really the one I have any sort of expertise into how to get into it. Animation is sort of a fluke that anytime I've gotten animation work, it's just been like I Forrest Gumped my way into it. But comics, I always tell people they have to just make a comic, and it's helpful if you know how to draw. Like that is
It would be a must, I would think.
gives you a real leg up. Well, I mean, you can find an artist and work with an artist, but it definitely is easier to not have to rely on anybody else in this sort of thing.
And there are plenty of comics out there that there is no art.
That's right. Yeah, you don't have to be great. You just have to tell a story. You know,
You just have to be good enough.
Yeah, there are wildly millionaires who draw poorly.
I'm one of them. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm neither of those things. There's actually it's such a strange time to be in this business and to get into this business. But I think and any version of it, whether it's comics or animation or live action or whatever, whether you're an artist or you're a writer or you're both, the number one most important thing is you have to love it. Number one. But love is not enough. We all have children, and there are those kids that are like, "Oh, I love you," but right? Love is not enough. You have to be actually good at it, right? You have to rise to a certain level of competence. How do you rise to that level of competence? And I'm talking about craft here, not about art, not about the things that you sort of have inside of you. You have to practice. You have to, if you want to be a writer, you have to write. You have to tell stories. It's not enough to say, well, I read a lot of books in high school. I can write a comic book. I can write a movie. No, you can't. If you want to be an artist, you have to practice.
Yeah, every day.
Man, there's a lot of freaking ponies I'm sure this man had to draw. Hundreds of ponies and things. But not ponies and things. Just and the thing.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Well, so it was a busy day, and it was a really fun day. I saw so much. I didn't know what to expect other than what I've seen of comic conventions and movies and television, which I never know how accurate that's going to be. So, it was super crowded in the exhibition area, where all the vendors and artists and stuff were set up to sell their stuff. That was really crowded. But then the different panels and stuff I went to, I was surprised, because I went to William Shatner's and I thought it was just going to be packed, and it was busy, but it was still only the room was still only half full. And then Ben Schwartz was even more full, I think. Now I did leave a little earlier than I'd wanted to originally. I had a couple other things that I had planned to do. There was I think it was called a sketch duel, where they brought out two of the comic book artists that were there as guests, and then they would each draw, and you could watch them live and kind of see how the two different artists approached the same thing. That's my guess of what it was going to be, which I think would have been super cool. But I have to get up early for church tomorrow, and I have, it's an hour and a half drive. So I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I've done a ton. I had a lot of fun. I'm just going to call it a day. So I didn't end up doing that. And there was one more celebrity Q&A that I wanted to do. It was Simon Pegg. And I thought that would have been really fun too, because he's a funny guy, and I thought that would have been a really fun one to go to. But again, his was later in the evening, and I needed to come home. So But I did get to see Simon Pegg from a distance as I was walking through the celebrity area later in the day. I was like, oh, there he is. I see him signing autographs. But, all that stuff costs money, and I had already spent my budget on the photos with Jodie Benson and Prince Eric. So that I just I did walk through and sort of like rubberneck to see, what other celebrities I could see. There wasn't I know Weird Al was there. I did not see him. He had a huge crowd around him, so I did not see him. Carrie Elways was there, but I think they had him in behind a curtain because he had a big line, but yeah, I didn't see him. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. The best part of my day was the Ben Schwartz Q&A, and because he's just so funny. And then the Little Mermaid one, because just nostalgia. And that Jodie Benson singing Part of Your World. I know I didn't show you any of it because she asked us, and she said, you can record, but you cannot post it. And I was like, fine. So that's just for me. If you know me personally and want to come up to me one day and ask to see it, I will show you that recording. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's something I was driving home and I was talking to my parents on the phone and they said, would you do it again? I said, yeah, but it would depend on, it all depends on who's going to be there, the celebrity guests, because those Q&As were the best part of my day. Next year, if they just have a bunch of people that I don't know or don't care about, I won't go again. I won't go next year, but I would go back to see people that I am interested in. Now, I originally was not supposed to go alone today. My best friend was going to go with me because she was excited to see a lot of the celebrities and all that kind of stuff too. And she had never done it, so we were going to go together. But she has just not been feeling well the last few days. So she texted me last night and let me know that she wasn't going to be able to come. And that happens, right? And we've all had plans with friends and then they had to cancel or we had to cancel or whatever. And at that point, we have to make up our mind. Okay, do we just not do the plan anymore? Or do we still go through with what we had planned? And I want to encourage you to maybe go through with that plan next time. And maybe the next time you make plans with friends, have a contingency in your head. Think, what am I going to do if my friend has to back out at the last minute? Am I going to just bail or am I going to do it by myself? And maybe kind of think through that. Like, okay, if I go by myself, what does that mean? Am I driving somewhere now by myself, parking, all that kind of stuff? Maybe think it through and come up with a way in your head how you're going to be comfortable doing it by yourself now that your friend can't go. For example, I was driving today to downtown Columbus, which I don't go to downtown Columbus very much at all. I was nervous about parking. I wasn't sure how busy this convention was, if they were going to fill up all the parking garages. There was just a lot up in the air. And originally, with my friend there, she could have been my navigator. And, if one garage was full, she could have immediately pulled up the next one on her phone and taken us to the next, parking garage without me having to try to drive and do my GPS at the same time. So when I found out she wasn't going, I immediately just researched. I found the 3 parking areas that were kind of my top 3. And then I marked them all as favorites in my GPS. And so that if I got to the first one, my desired one, and it was full, I could just quickly on my GPS just hit the next one and it already had the address in there and it would just take me to the next one. I didn't end up having to do that. I got to my destination and the very first garage, the one I wanted to get into, had plenty of space. So it didn't end up being an issue, but I was prepared if it was going to be an issue. So if you have plans with friends and you're like, this is something I really want to do, I hope nobody backs out. Just be prepared just in case they do, so that you feel comfortable doing it by yourself, or at least trying it by yourself for the first time. because that's how you get better at doing this stuff. You know, I was nervous for today. I'd never been to a convention. It was in a city that I didn't know very well. You know, there's all kinds of like what ifs and uncertainties, and maybe I'm going to hate this, you know? But my choice was to bail and be out the cost of the ticket and not do something that I had been really excited for months, or just kind of suck it up and do it anyway and have a great time. And that's what I did. And I encourage you to do that too, because I don't like to be reliant on, let me rephrase. I don't like my enjoyment from life to be reliant upon somebody else. So if they are coming with me, great. But if they are not able to, I'm going to have fun anyway. And I hope that you're able to do the same. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Lead the Life Vlog, and I'll see you next time. Bye.